If you're PCSing to Camp Lejeune, chances are Sneads Ferry has already come up on your radar. It's one of the more popular areas to live around here because of the proximity to the beach, how close it is to Stone Bay and the back gate, and it just offers a quieter lifestyle than living in Jacksonville. But it is also one of the more expensive areas to live. So what does it actually cost to live here? In this video, I'm breaking down the real cost of living in Sneads Ferry, including housing, insurance, commuting, groceries, and even some hidden expenses that people don't usually think about until after they move. By the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of if Sneads Ferry is a good fit for both your budget and your lifestyle while you're living here around Camp Lejeune. Hi, I'm Emily Anderson. I'm a realtor, a military spouse, and I have lived around Camp Lejeune for over 10 years. I help military families understand what it's like to live at Camp Lejeune before they even get here, and that's what this channel is all about. Let's start by talking about one of your biggest expenses, which is going to be housing. I looked up current data for Sneads Ferry, and right now on the market, we have homes ranging from $200,000 all the way up to over $2 million. That range is based on the location of the home, the age of the home, the amenities. You'll find quite a bit of variance in housing here, especially considering some of the houses in the area have waterfront access, while others are going to be more rural. Now, to give you a better frame of reference, I'm going to share with you a few homes that have sold within the last year in Sneads Ferry. This first one we're looking at sold for $315,000. It was built in 1999 and it's right around 1,300 square feet. This home was a little bit unique because it has no HOA and it's on a larger lot that you can see has been very well maintained. The interior of the house has also been pretty significantly updated. The next one we're looking at, this home sold for $325,000. It was built in 2007 and is 1,676 square feet. Again, this one has no HOA, but the interior of the home did need a little bit of work. This one needed some repairs and it hadn't been updated. The next one we're looking at, this sold for $389,000. It's in a neighborhood that does have an HOA, and that HOA includes some water access. There's a dock and a kayak launch right there in the neighborhood. It was built in 2006 and is right under 2,600 square feet. Now, the last one we're looking at, this home just sold recently for $415,000. This one was built in 2014 and is 2,630 square feet. It is in a neighborhood with an HOA, but there are no amenities, just HOA maintaining the common areas. Now, if you compare these homes to, say, Jacksonville, you'll notice that this same style home is a little bit more expensive here in Sneads Ferry, and there's reasons for that. There's limited land available here close to the water, and people want to be close to the water, so that definitely drives up housing prices in the area. Additionally, here in Sneads Ferry, a lot of these neighborhoods are newer, meaning being built in the last 10 to 20 years. There's a lot of new construction here and newer homes. And lastly, the demand has really grown in Sneads Ferry in the last few years, especially as the military base assigns more service members to work at the Stone Bay gate. The number of service members stationed there has dramatically increased in the last few years, and housing has struggled to keep up, which is also why there's so much new construction. But that high demand for houses has driven up the prices for houses because there's just not enough homes available for the people who want to live here. But the purchase price of a home is only part of your monthly cost. So let's also talk about property taxes and insurance. Now, when it comes to property taxes, it can actually be a little beneficial to live in Sneads Ferry because there is no city tax. If you're living up in Jacksonville, you will have city taxes on top of county taxes. But Sneads Ferry is unincorporated, so there are no city taxes. The only property taxes you are going to be paying are the Onslow County taxes, and right now that's at about 65 cents per $100 of your assessed property value. If you're coming from a high property tax state, then this is going to sound really nice. When it comes to homeowners insurance, you will notice that homeowners insurance prices are a little bit higher here. In all of North Carolina, we've seen a significant rise in the cost of homeowners insurance, unfortunately, especially if you are living closer to the coast, and that's just for the risk of hurricanes. Here you will also have to get wind and hail insurance, and depending on where your property is located, you may also be required to get flood insurance. These insurances, like I said, are a little bit higher than people expect, but don't be scared off. I always recommend that my clients compare several insurance companies because you will be surprised at how much that pricing can vary from one insurance brokerage to the next. Now, one other thing I want to mention when it comes to housing costs is HOAs. I said before, a lot of the neighborhoods around here are HOA neighborhoods. So you will pay a yearly or maybe monthly HOA fee for living in the neighborhood. Now, those fees have a very wide range. I've seen neighborhoods where it's $100-$200 a year, all the way up to over $1,000 a year. And that variance is based on the amenities the neighborhood is offering. Some of these neighborhoods are offering very nice pools or tennis courts, playgrounds, basketball courts. Some neighborhoods have a boat ramp or a dock. All of those are going to cost you in your HOA fees. Some neighborhoods with much lower HOA fees probably are not going to have any kind of amenities other than maintaining the quality and character of the neighborhood through enforcing those HOA regulations. And one quick note on renting, you will find that rental prices are a little bit higher here in Sneads Ferry than what you'll find in Jacksonville, because just like buying a house, there's more demand. There's also more demand for rentals. People like to live here. So if you're looking for a rental, I would make sure you give yourself enough time and anticipate those prices to be a little bit higher than what you're going to find in Jacksonville. Now let's talk about utilities. So around this area, pretty much everything is electric. We don't have natural gas. So your biggest bill is going to be your electric bill. You'll find that your bill is the highest in the summer because it's super hot here and your air conditioning is going to run on electric. For water and sewer, if you have city sewer, the bill is pretty reasonable, and I don't find that our water bill is anything crazy either. A lot of homes in the area do have septic systems. They're not on community sewer. So if you are on septic, then you don't even have to worry about a sewer bill. Now let's talk about transportation. And instead of just telling you what gas prices are today, let's talk about some considerations that you're going to need to think about when it comes to your transportation costs. Because we know the gas prices are going to change a million times before you view this video. Okay, when it comes to transportation, you need to consider the fact that there's not a ton of shopping here in Sneads Ferry. We have one grocery store in town. So if you don't want to go to Food Lion, you want to go somewhere else, let's think about your commute time and the additional travel that you're going to have. Additionally, when you want to go shopping for clothes or go to Walmart, Target, those kinds of stores, you are going to have to travel. The closest places are going to be Jacksonville. There are a couple more grocery stores if you travel down to Surf City, which is a little closer. Or if you want to go to a bigger mall, you may be driving all the way down to Wilmington. So just take into consideration that you are going to be doing more traveling to get access to those everyday conveniences that you would find in a city. Now, that extra driving isn't necessarily a deal breaker for most people, but it is something to consider, and it's something that a lot of people just forget to think about when they're thinking about their budget. Now, when it comes to your everyday life here, you're not going to find a whole lot of differences when it comes to things like the prices of groceries or the cost of restaurants. This is all pretty similar, I've found, to what I would find up in Jacksonville. When it comes to activities for your family, this is where you may find a little bit of variance. For things like kids' sports, there's less options here, so you may find yourself traveling to do rec leagues and things like that. I have signed my kids up personally for rec leagues down in Surf City. That's a little bit closer sometimes than driving up to Jacksonville, and their costs are a little high, but we've had lots of fun playing there. Additionally, when it comes to your kids, you do have some childcare options here in Sneads Ferry. There's different childcare centers. I find their rates are very similar to what you'd find anywhere else in the area. One benefit of being here is that our weekend activities do not have to be expensive because we're by the beach. So if we just make the beach our weekend activity, there's really no extra cost to that as long as you're parking in the free parking and you already have all your beach gear set up. Now, I want to talk to you about a couple hidden costs of living in Sneads Ferry. Now, this isn't anything big and scary. It's just a few things that I didn't think about before moving here, and it really surprised me. The number one thing is that the salt air here, it really deteriorates things more quickly than you'll find in other areas. For example, wooden fences, decks, anything metal outside like your HVAC unit, your roof, all of these things are aging a bit faster here because of the salt in the air. Even your vehicles, you'll see more vehicles with like the hood rusted up. These are things I didn't even think about when moving here. So when you think about things like the age of a roof and how long your HVAC is going to last, your heating and air conditioner unit, those things last not quite as long out here just because of the deterioration from the salt air. Number two is the wear and tear on my vehicle. Because there is a bit more driving to get to places living here in Sneads Ferry, my vehicle has gotten a whole lot of miles on it. It's needed new tires more often than I expected and repairs more often than I expected. So maybe budget in a little bit extra vehicle expenses living here. And like we said before, you may be spending a little bit more in gas as well, just to commute to get to those everyday conveniences, or extra gas because you are stuck in summertime beach traffic. Another thing to consider is hurricane prep. Now, a lot of people in this area do have a whole home generator in the case that they lose power due to a hurricane. I will tell you personally, I do not. There have been times over the last 10 years that we have completely lost power, and a generator would be really nice. So that is something to consider that you may want to purchase, or you may want to keep at your home and have serviced yearly. And one more, this is a little one, not a big deal, but I did not realize that termites are very, very present here in Eastern North Carolina. And this is especially true in a lot of these neighborhoods that are being built. They're brand new construction. So they're going from just a big area of wood and trees to all new houses. And because termites are very prevalent here, it's so important to have a termite bond and a yearly termite inspection. Your yearly termite inspection, it's like $100, maybe $150. It's not expensive, but it's so important and something that I just didn't realize was a factor out here. So let's wrap this up. Is it worth it to live in Sneads Ferry? I can't tell you yes or no. Only you can decide that. But I can tell you this is a great place to live if you're someone who is looking for a coastal lifestyle during your time stationed at Camp Lejeune. The beaches are unmatched. They're so beautiful. Additionally, if you want that small town feel, this is it. If you're looking for new construction, there's quite a bit of new construction here, and there is a pretty wide range of housing prices in the area. I feel confident that we could still find housing in your budget. Now, this would not be a good fit for you if you're someone who is looking for the least expensive option during your time here stationed at Camp Lejeune. It would also not be a good fit for you if you would like to be very close to shopping, stores, the mall, conveniences. If that's you, you're going to want to look in Jacksonville for housing. Additionally, if you're looking for the very shortest commute to get to the main side of Gate, it's going to be Jacksonville, not here. And if you just consider yourself more of a city person, it's pretty rural here. So Sneads Ferry might not be the best fit for the lifestyle that you're looking for. So whether Sneads Ferry is the right choice for your family or not, the good news is you have a whole lot of options. There are so many places to live around Camp Lejeune, and one of the reasons I created this channel is to help incoming families understand their different options for their time here at Camp Lejeune. If you would like some help figuring out what community is going to support your lifestyle the best and help you make amazing memories during your time here at Camp Lejeune, I would absolutely love to help you. Please reach out via text, phone call, send me a message, whatever is good for you. And I would love to help you and your family. Now, if you're still not sure if Sneads Ferry is right for you, I recommend following this video up with this one right here, comparing Sneads Ferry and Jacksonville. And I hope that it helps you in your decision making. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.